Oh, the warmth. It's so good from this fire, man.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, hi everyone. Just warming myself up the bonfire. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We're here for the Dark Souls Remastered special preview stream. We got a great group of guests here. Got Lobos.
Hello.
World famous Dark Souls speedrunner and master of peripherals. We got Oroboro,
Hello.
PvP champ.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. You know, pretty good.
And then we got Cowboy. I mean, it's just like
He's
this
just there.
dude. And I'm Dalton. I'm the community manager for Bandai Namco. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. As most of you guys know, Dark Souls Remastered is coming to Xbox One and PS4 on May 25th. So we wanted to take some time to show you a little bit of the gameplay, talk a little about the series, give some tips to beginners. I know there's a lot of old school fans in here that have played through the game on multiple platforms. We all know the game came out in 2011, but you know, there's a lot of new fans that haven't played it on console or PC that are really excited to get their hands on it, play the new enhanced features, play it at 60 frames on console. So yeah, let's jump into it. You guys have anything to say just to kick it off?
Praise the sun, y'all.
Praise the sun. Yeah.
Awesome. So here we go. We're gonna first just start off by doing a new game. So first thing we need to do is, what's our character's name? What's the consistent?
Orobos.
Ooh, that's good one.
Orobos?
Orobos.
Oro Local. That's a good one.
He's
That's a lot of O's.
What about Orobos Mantis?
Yeah, we have Terramantis off screen. He's gonna be joining us a little later.
Wow.
We're gonna be doing a.
match.
We'll go with it.
We're almost there. We're gonna be doing a boss rush later. We're gonna see which of these guys can beat the boss the fastest.
She's got a tiny head.
I don't know. All right, let's.
Pendant.
Yeah, dude.
You have to pick the pendant.
Yeah.
So why don't you guys
All right, we're
talk a little bit about starting your character, like who, what kind of stuff you usually go for, what kind of builds you like to do. Yeah.
I mean, master key for life, just because it's the master key. Like, I mean, if you're looking to have an easy first round, the master key is obviously a go-to. Once you get more experience, really just take whatever you want. You know, it's whatever you take at the start isn't going to make or break your character.
Yeah.
Everything that you could find, obviously, you can get in the game. So it's more just picking something that you're going to enjoy looking at for the hundreds of hours you sink into the game.
And for what about class type for starters? I know most people like knight. It's kind of an easy way to start.
I
You get decent
personally
armor.
I'm just like I love knights in general and that whole medieval feel, and so I just jump into a big pile of armor with the sword and just sword and board everybody. It's very satisfying to just run around like a tank and just kind of parry things.
Yeah.
And do it that way.
How about you, Oroboro?
I always pick like cleric for my class because I love going Dark Moon Blade, Lightning Blade, just max damage. Just I want everyone to die in 2-3 hits. You know,
And
that's
what's
the way to do it.
When you guys first started, I know you went sword and board, but did you guys do like I know a lot of people start pyromancer.
Yeah, obviously,
Yeah, because I know it's a kind of a good way to start. You can get the spacing right. You can pull aggro.
I think I started as pyromancer, but then I didn't know what the game really was, and then I jumped in and I was like, oh, okay, I'll take a big sword here and there. Eventually molded the character into more of a knight type character.
I mean, I think knight, especially if it's a first playthrough, knight's nice because you're already set up for quality, and leveling with quality as a first playthrough, you get access to just about every weapon. So you find out what you like, what you don't like for subsequent playthroughs.
Yeah.
I agree there. For those of you who don't know, quality is 40 strength, 40 dex, so you can use almost every single weapon at maximum scaling.
Got it. So cool. We're gonna jump in here. We're watching the opening cinematic.
Classic.
It's a classic. Yeah. Learning about the Age of Fire and Gwendolyn and all the awesome dragon battles.
The lore.
The lore, yeah.
We need Vadi for this.
Yeah. Actually, Vadi just put out a video for us,
yeah.
kind of digging into the lore for beginners, kind of an overview for new players. So you can check that out on our European channels, and it'll be up on Bandai Namco US channels shortly. One thing I forgot to mention is, guys, we're doing some giveaways today. We will be giving away a few game codes for Dark Souls Remastered on PS4. Just keep in mind that the game's not out till the 25th, so if you do win, we'll get you those codes when the game launches. But the big giveaway we're doing is we're going to give away Yarm the Giant.
Papa Yorm.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have seen this statue from Dark Souls 3. It's an awesome figure, super high quality, great detail. Yeah, so it could be yours if you stay active in the chat. Cool. So we're going to start it off here in the Undead Asylum.
There's also a private PvP session with Oroboro up for grabs.
Oh yeah.
Like those contests when you like win a date with Oroboro in CVP.
It's like that, except instead he just backstabs you.
Yeah, it won't be a fun date.
Cool. So I think we could probably get on into the.
We'll jump.
For the new players, definitely watch that opening cinematic when you play it. I know a lot of people in here have seen that many times. So here we are, we're kicking it off in the Undead Asylum. Tell us a little bit about your first experience when you guys first got into the Undead Asylum. Like, what was it?
I mean, getting to that boss for the first time, you're like, okay, well, I'm just gonna run up to this dude and kind of hit him a bunch, and maybe he'll hit me, and I'll heal it up, and then you know, we'll go on. But you kind of start to realize, like, after several deaths, like, oh, I might need to actually like try here and do something a little differently, a little more strategically. So that's kind of the first point where you feel that Dark Souls is something a little special, and you're gonna have to put a little more time into it, and you get a lot more back for it.
Definitely. And here we go, the first bonfire.
A beautiful beef jerky woman we got here.
Is she a ginger? Did you pick a ginger for me? That's nice, Cowboy. I appreciate that.
Are we gonna try and take him down without our weapon, or should we?
Oh, that's gonna take 10 years.
No, let's keep it moving.
It took me 20
we already
minutes.
got the boss rush going on later, so. So to the fans that are asking, we're playing on PS4 Pro, but we're playing at 1080. But you know, if you have the PS4 Pro, you will get 4K 60 frames. So look forward to that. And you know, one thing I always really enjoyed about the Undead Asylum is it's kind of like a microcosm of the entire game. Like they show you like all the kind of like a little bit of everything that you need to kind of understand. Like, oh, if you go up these stairs, a giant ball might roll down and kill you. Or like you're gonna fight a giant boss when you don't really expect to get. Or there's a guy right here that you can't really kill. Yeah, so it's a good kind of opening tutorial to just be like, oh, so this is what this game's all about.
When a lot of people quit.
Yeah, kind of some vague storyline hints here. They're trying to put pieces together, and you just got to find all the little hints and put them together yourself.
Hey guys, just to let you know in the chat, you don't need to say raffle. There's no need to say raffle. So just all you have to do is just stay active in the chat, ask questions, talk about your experience with Dark Souls. If you have any specific questions for these guys, you know, these guys have been playing this game for
too long.
A few times. They played it a few times. Do you have a running count of how many times you've played it? Any Lobos? It's got to be in the thousands.
I know I'm at like over 10,000 hours for Dark Souls 1 alone. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did you play mostly on PC, or did you start on console?
I started on Xbox 360.
Okay.
Did that for the first like year and a half, and then I've always been more into PC, so then I picked it up on PC, and that includes DLC and everything, so went from there.
Yeah, cool. I must have played it for 7,000 hours, and that's just on everything. Like I switched from Xbox to PS3 and PC as well. That's fun.
So I think we're setting up some sort of handoff rule. What do we want to do?
We're playing
Cowboy hogging up all the time.
I haven't had to touch the Estus yet, okay?
That's fair. Okay, all right.
Get him.
If you got an Estus.
Well, so what we've done is, as soon as someone has to Estus, they have to throw it off. So, and I'm gonna literally toss it into his hands.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do, guys, is if you
mid boss.
Mid-boss.
If any of these guys has to use the Estus.
Big whiffs.
If he has to use the Estus or dies, they have to pass the controller. We're gonna.
You can
We're turning Dark Souls into a fun multiplayer game.
Hang.
All right.
I speedrun Dark Souls for a month.
Oh, that's a hit. That's a hit.
That's it.
But I think I believe.
Nice dodge.
So maybe we could start kind of going into some beginner tips, guys. I know we talked a little about the creation, picking knight, picking the master key.
Yeah.
But maybe you could tell us a little bit about if you've never played the game before, you pick it up, things to remember.
Light is better. So
Yeah.
one of the big things which is different with Dark Souls 1 compared to other entries into the game is the weight thresholds. You got 25% and below is like your fast roll, between 25 and 75 are your mids.
Yes.
And then above 75 are heavy rolls. And
victory.
Yeah, 50 to 100 is heavy.
yeah, or not
25 to
50 to 100.
is medium.
Okay. And I think that's the biggest mistake is you start playing and you just go, oh, this armor is big and heavy and it's going to protect me, but you can't roll well.
Yeah.
And a very important part of Dark Souls is when you roll, you get what are known as invulnerability frames and
Iframes.
yeah, iframes for short. But basically, getting those is what's going to let you either dodge stuff or get hit in the face. So, while heavy armor may look more appealing,
And here-
having a lighter armor that lets you roll is going to be better in the long run.
Definitely, that's a great tip. And here we are, Firelink Shrine. Beautiful Firelink Shrine.
Oh.
Strut your stuff.
And it looks like Oroboro. I know I didn't want to cut you off there, Cowboy, but you defeated the demon. No problem, no hits.
Oh, easy.
Oh, you
easy.
did
I
get
did get hit. I did get hit.
I hit once.
So I had a fan ask in the chat, what does Estus taste like?
Ooh.
Kind of like OJ. It's kind of like a mimosa, I would imagine. Like OJ with a little bit of champagne in there.
I was gonna say pure sunshine.
Well, that's one way to.
If you're under 21, you don't need to know what mimosas are. Just know that mommy and daddy like them on Sundays.
Sunny D. Cool. So, what are some other tips, guys, that you could?
I was gonna say, like, watching him fight while you ask the question. The first thing you really need to take note of is your stamina. The fact that you have stamina, which limits your ability to just always dodge or always attack. So you need to be very mindful of what your stamina level is at, so that you don't overextend yourself trying to hit the boss or the enemy, and then suddenly you get punished because.
go get for that parry. There it is.
Big whiff.
And and when you guys are doing like your leveling, do you guys try to do a balance between health and stamina, or do you like usually put more points into stamina?
It's kind of there are what are like known as soft caps and hard caps. Like for health, for example, up until 30, you see really nice gains.
Yeah.
And then after that, it slows down a little bit, but you still get really good gains going up to about 50. So, like if I'm just starting, I'll usually get a little bit of stamina and get a little bit of vitality, and usually work towards getting my vid up to that 30 threshold.
You're
done. Boy. You're done.
Oh, no!
Oh, I don't know. Was there a humanity rule?
No, that's cheating.
Oh, you were
Here you
looking
go.
for
He
the
got
moss.
me.
Okay, well
Yeah.
now I'm poisoned. Thanks.
Don't have any moss. Yeah, that's not really fair.
Yeah, so here's a good beginner tip. Poison is basically death in
Yeah.
Dark Souls 1. It lasts.
That's a very long time.
And it's awesome that one of the very
I'll be
first
okay.
enemies in the game gives it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta hate that rat.
And I think you got to get the moss from the vendor, right?
Yeah.
At the beginning, right?
One thing I was going to say is while you're leveling, it really depends on what kind of build you want to do in the game, because one thing that keeps me coming back to the game so much is you can play it so many different ways. Like even within strength builds, you can go a whole different set of weapons and a different approach there. I had to ask this. I'm sorry. Poison is really.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I
This
set
is-
you up for that. That's unfair. But Dark Souls is unfair. It's not.
I think that we weren't expecting the poison variable. That got designated.
Oh
First death. Pass it.
no! For shame.
In the chat,
I got greedy.
I'm curious.
Got
In the
greedy.
chat, have you guys ever played this game like as a couch co-op, or do you have any kind of way that you guys have played it, kind of how we're doing it? What about you guys? Have you guys ever played it with your friends and kind of like pass the controller, hot potato?
Not with that. With Dark Souls 3, I had a night where we had a bunch of people hanging out, and I basically kept sending each of them through to see who they could beat Gunder, and that was fun until like the third person got on, and then she basically just bogarded the controller for like 3 hours. Still unsuccessful, but she was dead. She was like, "I'm beating this thing." Okay.
And for a while, I had done an annual kind of
Save our souls.
marathon where we had a whole bunch of rules, and if broke a rule, you had to take a drink, and then,
Yeah.
or at some point, and every 5 or
Big whips.
every 2 minutes, you would have to hand the controller off to somebody, the next person, and there are a bunch of rules for
Nice.
that.
What were some of the rules?
One was like if you drop the controller, if you kill a boss, then everybody else would have to drink. If you lost a blood stain, like you would have to drink. All these sorts
That's
of crazy
awesome.
rules. Yeah.
What about a bright light asking? So I understand there's a resistance stat. Would a heavily defensive resistant build be good for?
Oh no.
Yeah, that's to Cowboy's point, it's really more about controlling your weight load and not focusing as much about the defense.
I mean, resistance in general. I know you guys have a deeper relationship with DS1. My understanding is it's basically like a trash stat.
It is a stat you never want to put points into.
Oh,
because
I just
it
have
just
to. It's just habit. Habit.
it doesn't do enough for your character. Every other stat in the game is more efficient.
Yeah.
Take that as you will. Don't go resistance, guys.
What are some of the craziest builds you guys have tried?
Oh, I have a pretty good one.
Okay.
So I was super bored as all crazy builds come along, and I wanted to make a build that was a dragon build that had red tier stone 100% of the time without dying. So if you start with the lowest health character, you can use Power Within, which drains your health. You can put red tier stone on, which gives you the damage at low health. You unpurposely get to low health and use Sanctus, which regens your HP, and it's just enough at the lowest health pool that you can regen to a perfect amount at any health level. So you stay low on
just keeps
purpose.
it even.
Yeah, it keeps it even at low life forever. So you have red tier stone, which gives you 30% more damage.
It's a lot.
It's
more.
a lot of
It
damage,
depends. It's a
and
big mod.
you just one-shot everybody. It's hilarious. That's a fun build. Yeah.
That is wild. So what kind of deep levels of boredom were you in to come up with that? That's what I want to know.
You play a lot of Dark Souls.
Yeah.
You know? Run out of ways to kill people.
Probably one of the more extreme ones that I did was just using consumable items to kill everything. So just no weapons, no punching, no anything, just throwing fire bombs or throwing knives. And some of the bosses took upwards of 40 minutes on the successful attempt.
Oh my god.
But yeah, not the most fun for everybody, but
And what
the kind
about
of challenge I like to set.
And Lobos, I know you've played with some pretty crazy peripherals and controllers during your time. What are some of the craziest ones you've done?
So I haven't done a whole lot of peripherals, but I have done like upside down runs and
Anything?
yeah, I've just done a whole bunch of different modifiers to make the game even harder because I don't know.
And
I just
what's-
like the challenge.
Yeah.
And you've done no weapon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you done no hit?
I've actually no hit is surprisingly a challenge that like I deeply respect, but don't think I have the patience to do.
Yeah, that's
it's
rough.
like that's a whole nother set of challenges.
Happy
to just
Hop,
make it-
right? He was
yeah.
he did all three in
Happy Hop.
one in
Yep.
one sitting. That
Yeah.
I watched that. That
Pass
was
it.
crazy.
Pass it.
Yeah.
Oh, good, great timing. 7,000 hollows at me.
So Combo Breaker's asking, is the Thief class good for anything besides starting with 2 Master Keys?
So the Bandit's knife that it starts with inflicts bleed, which is very good on demons or like animal type enemies. So the Asylum demon that you first fight will bleed, and as well as Taurus demon, which is one of the other early bosses. So in
Doesn't it
addition
have
to
a
that,
extra critical on it too? Yeah.
it does, yeah.
Yeah.
Daggers do have extra crit on backstabs and riposts. Additionally, it allows you to start with another starting gift, which you can take the black fire bombs, which are pretty powerful, and you can use that to take out the Asylum demon very quickly. Yeah.
Nice. Maybe let's talk a little bit about kind of the game came out in 2011. I know obviously there's been Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. Tell us a little bit of kind of what keeps you guys coming back playing Dark Souls. What was the first things that kind of attracted you to the game? And and now you're here. It's 2018.
Right.
The remaster is coming out.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
I had a friend, actually, 2 friends that I didn't have a PlayStation at the time. This dates back to the days of Demon Souls, And all I ever heard was, "Oh, Billy, you never beat this game. This game's so hard. Just wait till you get to the penetrator. He's the hardest thing I ever fought." And I got so tired of listening to them that I was finally like, you know what? I'm gonna play your game. And I played it and I beat it. And originally I wasn't a fan of it. Like I got through it and I was like, this is good, but I don't think this is my thing. And then with Dark Souls 2, I really kind of sunk my teeth into the series, and then went back and replayed 1 and enjoyed it a lot more. And then obviously the rest is just kind of history. I just get hooked on it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I personally, on my own whim, was like, oh, what's this Demon Souls? And so I played Demon Souls for like 2 or 3 hours, and I just quit. I was like, I'm not having fun with this. But then later, like a year or two later, my friends were like, we're going to make you play through Dark Souls. And I was like, all right, I played Demon Souls a bit. And when I sat there and played more of it, the thing started to click. I was like, all right, that was my fault. Like, the game is fair.
Yeah.
It's difficult, but it's very fair. If you mess up, it's on you. And that very much appealed to me. The fact that it doesn't hold your hand. It's like, we're going to give you these things, and you can learn from experience and kind of figure out your own strategies on how you want to approach this stuff. And there's just so many different ways to play it. Like
Yeah, that's awesome. How about you, Oroboro?
Okay, so I sort of have the exact same story as Lobos, where I played Demon Souls when it came out. I was super hyped. I was like, oh man. I saw a stream of it before it came out in Japan. I was like, I need this game. It looks so cool. And then I got it, and I was like, this is not cool. Because I kept on dying in like the first level, and I completely gave up. And then a year after, I went back, and I annihilated the whole game, and it was the best feeling ever.
Nice.
And just, don't give up, If this game beats you up, that's what it's supposed to be.
I think there's a life metaphor in that.
Yeah, don't give up.
I think that's just, it's something that's nice about the Souls franchise in general is, you actually feel rewarded when like you finally surmount the challenge versus like a lot of games which can be kind of hand-holdy these days. So it's, there's no, it's just, it's nice because you're actually faced with the challenge and, it's like overcoming adversity. So.
Did we take Master?
Definitely.
No, we took.
Yeah, that is also like the feeling of beating some of the bosses, going through 40, 50, maybe 100 attempts. Over and over and over again. When you finally get all the patterns down, you get in those right spots and you get the combos, and when you finally see like the victory achieved, it's like there's something about that feeling, right?
Yeah, there's nothing better.
So what's Dark Souls 1? What are some of your guys' favorite all-time favorite weapons from Dark Souls 1?
I think everybody knows mine if they know my stream. The Falchion. That thing is just perfect.
I've always liked the Demon Great Machete. It's a monstrous looking weapon. It's got a nice moveset on it.
What about you?
My personal favorite is the Black Knight Greatsword. It's this incredibly unwieldy, gigantic sword that you can like golf swing somebody into the air with, and the bigger the sword, the better for me. So it's like my favorite.
So some people are asking, what's your favorite area in the game?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
I know what my least favorite area is.
It's Lighttown.
Oh, dude, I love Lighttown actually.
You're crazy.
No, but the Great Hollow, I despise the Great Hollow.
The Great Hollow
so much.
A lot of gravity there.
Yeah.
And then the Archives. I've never liked the Archives.
Archives are cool, man.
I can't stand it. Every time I go there, because those stupid crystal weapon skeletons.
They get buffed and they shoulder you.
It's like they're
That
swinging
doesn't
like
matter.
Optimus Prime at you, basically. Those stupid crystal weapons hit so freaking hard. Even if
make
you
them
go
jump
there
off.
as like your last place
All right,
before Gwyn, they still hit you so hard.
All right, let's see.
Oh, here we
Let's
go.
see.
So Dark Souls is really hard. Let's see.
The speedrun strategy.
This depends on whether or not he wants to do this today. So let's see.
Yeah, we'll see.
So,
There he goes. There you go.
Oh, that was sweet.
that's one way to play the game.
Very
Victory
difficult.
achieved.
Very difficult.
And you can see how satisfying that was to surmount that challenge.
Wow.
Yeah. First time through there, that boss will like mess you up. Or,
There's a few strats with him. You can climb up and drop him too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Plunge attack.
Yeah.
Yep.
For beginners, like, that boss is rough.
Yeah.
He is, like, tracking on almost all his moves.
She'll step on you. He's a rude guy.
I usually go for the plunge method. I think that's pretty consistent.
So Dante Senpai is asking you, Oroboro, who's better, you or Peeve?
Oh.
I think that's an easy question. I don't think you have to ask that question.
So Peeve is actually here today as well, but he's in capturing footage right
he's
now.
AWOL.
Yeah, he's AWOL. And Terramantis is here too.
I'm
He's off.
bonfired.
He's hanging out.
I got the ladder if you want to take that.
So, as I was talking about earlier, with the remaster, we definitely are really excited to bring the game to a new community, but also kind of bring a lot of the community back on all platforms. So, could you tell us a little about what you're excited about on that? And I know they're up in the PvP limit, and now you can have the matchmaking. Is that something? I know that's something you've got to be looking forward to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So just the player limit is insane because it's, 6 people at once is unheard of. In Dark Souls 1 anyways. So that's going to change things up a lot. There's going to be 5-man gang squads of people trying to kill you at once. That's going to be fun. And Password for me is awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's such a pain on Dark Souls 1 if you're not using some PC mod to help you out, to connect with your friends. Like, it takes ages. I try to play with my fiance, Woody, and it just does not work sometimes. So we are so excited. Oh, great, I'm poisoned.
Go kill the Black Knight. I want the Black Knight Greatsword.
Get it.
We're super excited for passwords because it doesn't matter what level, doesn't matter, anything. You just put the password down, it works. That's awesome.
Nice. I think it's time to do a roll for a PS4 game code. So my good friend Dimitri over there, he's going to pick somebody and he's going to let you know who won in the chat. So just stay active in the chat, guys, and you'll have a chance to win.
This should be interesting. I'm going to put the club back on.
Yeah?
So I leveled strength a bunch, so.
Okay, he's going
Club's
for
got
that
that.
Black Knight sword.
Ooh,
oh,
nice
the
parry.
parry right
Gimme.
off the bat.
I want
So-
this guy
so
gives me my favorite weapon.
Guys at home in the chat, they're going to make this look really easy, but it's actually not that
I'll
easy.
just die. It's okay.
Ooh.
Of course, poison
Nice.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hey, that wasn't my fault.
That's true.
The poison. That's crazy we got poisoned twice in the, before we even went down into the
Gimme.
depths.
Oh.
To be fair, our character is naked.
Yeah, and as I said, guys, with the remaster, 60 frames, it's buttery smooth. I know you guys had a chance to play it. How do you think it played on PS4 Pro?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Oh, wow. That was a big hit.
Yeah, it was.
So
Guess you'll die.
So this right now we're gonna play. We're gonna try to play. We're not gonna make close to Blighttown, but we're gonna go back and fight Keylog. Quelaag.
Quelaag.
Yeah.
Quelaag.
For a boss rush. A boss rush. So what we're gonna do is each player is gonna start as the bandit, right? Bandit class with level 4.
Yeah.
With the starting gear.
Yeah.
We're gonna time everyone and see who can beat it the fastest. We're all kind of putting our money on Lobos, but Oroboro, I'm thinking you're gonna be you're the dark horse coming up from the rear.
I believe.
Sleeper hit.
I believe. Cowboy can do it.
You never know with Quelaag. She can be tricky.
Oh, here's a
This
good
is
question.
the
What's your
worst.
favorite covenant from Dark Souls 1?
And I'm excited to try out some Gravelord Covenant
Yeah.
because that's a
With the
very unique
change.
kind of PvP covenant, and I never really messed with it much in the first Dark Souls. I'm not huge into PvP, but with the revitalization of the online community imminent, that is the time for me to dive back in and indulge.
For sure. And maybe some people are asking your favorite covenants in general, but maybe you could talk just a little bit for new players, kind of how the covenant system works and how that affects PvP and what you can earn, the rewards you can earn, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sure. There are. So I don't dabble with them too much because they have kind of specific use cases, but they're various, if you want to call factions of people. They're called covenants, but you find an NPC and they're like, hey, do you want to join our covenant and champion our cause? And then maybe if you give them enough humanity, which is an item in the game that you can acquire, then you can unlock rewards and special gear and that sort of thing. The Gravelord Covenant, in particular, as soon as you join, you get a decent two-handed sword, which for speedrunning is actually one method to take, and it can be pretty handy. So there's a whole bunch of rewards you can get from it, and you can choose. You can only be in one at a time. But with Remastered, you're able to swap them at a bonfire, which makes that much more convenient than having to run all the way back to an NPC.
Yeah, there's a few, just some quality of life changes that they put in. One really particular one is you can now rapidly drink the Estus by just.
You can pop multiple items at a time.
Yeah.
And so you would donate humanity to a covenant, and used to you have to pop them one at a time, and you up to 30. So you could sit there for several minutes popping one humanity. But now, yeah, you throw them in, you can pop 30 humanity all at once, and then it's a much faster thing.
You know, I know a lot of people were asking about Code Vein too, and I know you guys had a chance to play it today. Could you tell us? I know we're talking about Dark Souls, but maybe you could just tell us a little bit about your experience, what you guys think about Code Vein, what you're looking forward to, because it is in the same kind of vein.
I think it's looking good. I mean, I think the community has been obviously referring to it as anime Souls for a while, but I think it's actually done a pretty damn good job kind of living up to that. Like so far, the combat's tight. I think the thing I like the most is there were two different types of weapons that we were able to parry with. One was like a claw, and it was very fast, kind of similar to like a short shield or a small shield or like a buckler in Dark Souls. And then there was one that was this like scorpion-tailed whip thing, and it had a longer parry window on it. But to compensate for that, you know, you had to wait longer. So you might parry one guy, but then you could be vulnerable to a different one. So that felt really nice. There was good in the demo we played. We had I think it was 5 different weapons to mess around with that you could find. A bunch of different skills. So I mean, there's a lot to it. I think that's making it interesting right now, at least. I mean, obviously we only have to do like a short bit. We had a 15-minute demo with it, but from what we played, I am ready for more.
Nice. And I know you guys have captured some footage, so you guys were putting up more kind of impressions and the direct capture. So look forward to these guys' channels, because they're going to be putting on some stuff, as well as some stuff from Dark Souls 2. So Dark Souls as well, not Dark Souls. So some people were asking, kind of back to, or maybe you want to talk a little about Code Vein, just give a quick compression.
Oh yeah, Code Vein. So I came in with like expectations. It looked like sort of sluggish on the gameplay previews, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna really like it. And I tried it, and man, it actually feels really good. It's like buttery smooth, and I'm actually really looking forward to it after having played it. So yeah, I'm excited for it as well.
Nice. Lobos?
Yeah, I'm the same. Like, I hadn't looked into it too much. I knew that it was going for that kind of the Soulsy type feel, and yeah, as soon as I jumped in, it felt very comfortable and like familiar. And there's some unique systems in there. Yeah, like that.
I know it's hard to talk and answer questions while you're playing as well.
Yeah, it's healing.
Blame it on
too.
Blame it on
Well, he got us to the bonfire, though.
That's true. I did get a shortcut.
So a few people are asking some kind of new questions. Shields versus no shields in Dark Souls Remastered. I mean, in Dark Souls in general. What's kind of your opinion? I know at the beginning, sword and board is a good way to start, but I know a lot of people like to just go with the two-handed.
I mean, in general, I think especially if you're a new player, always bring a shield. Shields are disgustingly powerful in the game, especially like if you're doing a strength build and you can use a great shield, you can block your way through the entire game.
Yeah.
And even without using even without a strength build, there are still plenty of like medium weight shields. Why are they?
You're getting snagged with huge hits, man.
Pass it. Gotta pass it.
Some of my crazy crits coming in. But yeah, a shield, a good 100 physical defense shield can go a long way in the game, especially if you're like focusing on strength and stamina so you can block. A good shield is going to help you a lot more than a good set of armor, we'll say that.
Yeah. I mean, obviously with the parry mechanics and just, especially with the great shields, you know, to be able to kind of the poise and kind of being able not to get.
Well, I think my favorite thing about the shield, especially as someone that's like, if you're a new player or trying to learn, you know, the first fight against the boss, you can always just use that shield and just play hyper defensive and spend that whole fight just watching the boss,
Yep.
seeing what it does, when it, what kind of combos it has, what kind of chains it has, and just take it. Don't go in there being, I'm going to get this the first time. Just take this as a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's good tips. So the winner of the first code giveaway, I got to give major props to this guy for his name. His name is Dream Cankles. So congratulations, Dream Cankles. You've won the PS4 Dark Souls Remastered code. We'll be sending you a message and we'll get your information. So we'll make sure to get that code. We got some more questions coming in here, guys. I mean, this is a really important one. What's the most fashionable armor in the game?
Elite Knight. Come on. It's classic. It's on the
Elite Knight.
cover. You can't beat it.
Giants. Giants.
Show 'em your shirt.
Yeah.
Become unstoppable.
Only Afro would be proud.
Oh dear. My personal favorite, I think, is the Lord Blade set, which is just kind of a unique look, and it's not super heavy. I kind of lean towards, I guess, more clothy type looking ones, like the Gold Hymn set or the Lord Blade set.
Sweet. I always like the Elite set myself too.
It's awesome. It looks even better in HD. Yeah.
Actually, I like Lautric's set a lot, but it comes with the downside of, do you want to really go through his entire quest again?
So did you guys get a chance to play the network test?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
What were kind of your impressions on the new PvP? And I know it was fun because there's a lot of people playing, right?
Sure, yeah.
And I know they've removed some of the glitches and some kind of exploits that people were unhappy with. I know a lot of stuff is the same, which, we want to make sure that the Dark Souls experience isn't changed too much.
Right.
It's what we all come to love.
Yeah.
But maybe we can talk a little bit about some of the changes you noticed or some of the things that kind of stuck out to you.
Well, first off, just the connectivity. It was really quick to get people in your game, and people were always invading. Obviously, it's a network test, and that was kind of the goal. But it's just that with the previous version of Dark Souls, a lot of times somebody would start invading, and then maybe it wouldn't connect, and you wouldn't really know. Or you'd summon somebody, and it would say connection failed a lot, and you just spend this time working on that. But with this, it was very smooth.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'd have to second that. I remember one of my one of my fondest memories of Souls was I did like an intoxicated playthrough of it. And
I'm shocked.
Yeah. There would be I would spend 15, 20 minutes trying to summon a buddy.
Yeah.
Just having the connectivity where it's like, okay, you got this password on, great. Oh, there's your sign, got you. It completely changes, especially because I think that's the biggest part. Like Dark Souls, you can play it by yourself and it's fun, but it's the co-op, it's the PvP, it's the community that made the game what it is and makes it, still what it is today.
Definitely. And I think that's one thing, a lot of the comments I read is people are so excited to kind of have that whole new fan base come in. There's a lot of people that have never played this game. I know for a lot of gamers, this has become kind of like a staple of gaming. Like, oh, everyone plays Dark Souls. It's been out for 7 years.
Yeah.
But a lot of people didn't get to play it on PC. People don't have game PCs. They played it on 360 or PS3. So to be able to make that jump to 60 frames, I think is going to be really significant for players that never played it on PC. Obviously, the graphical updates and then the PvP updates. So I think it's going to be really exciting, to Lobos' point with the covenants, with the messages. It's kind of reinvigorating the community. I know there's been some community events where people have set times up when people come back into the game through the Reddit, subreddit and everything. So speaking of messages, what are some of the first messages you guys ever put down? Do you guys remember?
Probably a fake illusory wall message somewhere.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Off a wall or something.
Yeah, like try jumping on a
try jumping.
Try jumping. Yeah. That's what you see a lot.
I always
put
go
a
for
tip here that I should jump.
Praise the sun message.
Oh, yeah.
Find a nice landscape.
Nice guy, Cowboy.
Looking for that nice god ray coming in and the praise the sun.
Glorious chest.
Chest ahead.
The only one of us not tricking people.
Channeler, bro. Please.
So I think pretty soon let's start up on the boss rush.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah. Here. Make quick work of me, friend. Slice and dice me.
Down again.
right.
This is the super tough part if you pull all the aggro right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just getting a lot of real excitement for people to, return to Lordran. I think it's going to be, May 25th is coming up quick, and I think it's going to be an awesome day for the Dark Souls community. And the fans, I mean, as I said, like, it's easy for a lot of people to go, hey, it's Dark Souls, but this is an experience that a lot of people haven't had. They haven't spent the countless hours learning the role mechanics and how to beat the bosses and finding the secret illusory walls, fighting mimics and things like that. It's going to be awesome to hear kind of some of the new fan base come in and hear their experiences. Cool. So I think we're going to. Oh, we're gonna swap. We're gonna swap out fighting Cowboy for Terramantis. He's gonna come in for the boss rush, and so.
Going in, big boy.
Play? Oh, can you guys play for a bit while we swap it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what we're doing, guys, can you explain it to what we're doing here, Oroboro?
So we set it up so we have 4 characters at Quailag, and we're just going to run in and try to kill her as quickly as possible at, what is it, so level 4 we got?
Level 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bandit class level 4.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Okay, so we're bringing in Terramantis. Give us a sec, guys, and then we're gonna queue up the save games. Lobos was nice enough actually to go through and set up these save files for us today. I guess he's good at speedrunning the game or something. I don't know.
Any opportunity to go fast.
So So I think we can go for
Swap
it now. But while we're doing that, actually, while we're swapping, let's do one more PS4 code giveaway. Ooh. So stay active in the chat, guys, and we will roll for a new giveaway. All right. So who wants to start it off? I know Terramantis is playing inverted, so we're going to have him go last so he doesn't mess up everyone else's controls.
All right.
So what I'm going to do is right when the game loads in, I'm going to start the stopwatch. So I'll be the timekeeper here. If you die, you're out. I guess that's
fair enough.
Yeah.
I can go first.
Well, we could do if you die and someone else's die, then they can go for it. But if you die first, it's
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
So Oroboro first. All right. Here we go.
Wish me luck.
All right. Let's in the chat. Who do you think is going to win this? $50 on Lobos. All right. Starting
$100 on Lobos.
Starting right. Okay. I'm going to start it right when you go through the fog.
I will also take that bet on Lobos winning.
Yeah.
Oh, good RNG.
Oh yeah, look at that
my
damage.
goodness, the damage.
Oh no.
This is good.
Oh no.
So where does this stack up for you guys for difficulty? I always love the design of this boss, personally. I thought it was awesome. And we actually have a fan in this office. I should have brought it in, but a fan actually made a model of Quailag.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's awesome.
That's crazy.
But I think this one really resonated with people. Like, it's a giant spider with a woman coming out of its head. It's crazy.
This is
But
going to take 10 years.
where does this stack for you guys as kind of your favorite boss, and maybe give us your top 3 bosses while we're waiting. Oroboro, you don't have to answer while you play. Let's the other 2 guys.
As far as Quailag goes, this was the first boss I got to that I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be here yet. I got my ass kicked by her my first time in here. And it turns out that, yes, I was supposed to be there. But my favorite bosses for Dark Souls would have to be, well, obviously Ornstein and Smo.
Oh, yeah.
You got to make the cut or get out. And then I've always liked Ceaseless Discharge just because it has like a secret hidden kill mechanic, or you can do it legit. I don't know. They're both legit.
Right,
They're supposed
yeah.
to be there.
Yeah.
I think Ceaseless Discharge was the first time I really realized I loved the game, because I was like, did they really just name the boss that? I was like, is that really what was in the game?
Lost in translation.
Oh, cool. So we got the winner for the next PS4 code. It's NYC Crownless King. NYC Crownless King. Congratulations, man. We will send you a PS4 game code. And at the end of the stream, guys, don't worry. You might be going home with Yorm the Giant. What about you, Lobos?
Yeah.
Ornstein
Ornstein Smo is up there is because it's a very difficult fight where you have to manage 2 different AI bosses, and they have their own thing, and that can be very difficult. It's its own set of strategy really to master there. And then Manus from the DLC is just a very tough fight with a lot of different attacks, but all of them are fair and designed such that you can avoid all damage. And all the bosses are designed in that way.
And you can see Oro hasn't been hit yet once.
Yeah.
He's doing some damage. So he got about 25% down.
Quarter
there.
down.
Technically, Terramantis, that isn't true because I got hit for 1 HP because Mario jumped.
Yeah. Steppy stomped.
Okay.
Yeah. The no-hit run would have been over.
Yeah, of course.
It's true.
Artorias has to be the other one.
Yeah.
I think he's
Artorias
probably
is
the
great.
best,
We got a little
one of the most
Artorias back there.
iconic characters in the series. He's awesome.
All right, you're a little past 3 minutes here, Oroboro.
This is gonna take forever.
I guess we should have upgraded the
We
weapon.
should upgrade. Shall we switch this challenge and each of us like have a go like in the middle? Because I mean, this is going to be literally forever. Like,
Yeah,
this
Lobos
thing
is
does
gonna
no
beat
damage.
this.
I think
It's gonna take like 10 minutes per person if
yeah,
we do
maybe
well.
maybe we do a quick audible here.
Oh, yeah, Mario jumped again.
Yeah, I did.
I don't know, what could we do? We could, because you guys are so good at the game. It's not like it's not a real difficult issue.
It just.
Let's just see how long it'll take Oroboro.
All right, let's go.
Go
Yeah.
for speed. You
Yeah,
gotta
we're
go
going
for
for
speed.
speed.
for
It's about
speed.
speed.
Attack her while she's exploding. No, don't do that.
Oh, that looked.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That looked better.
Yeah, the
That
improved
effect on
graphics
that
on there. The
explosion
effect.
was better.
Uh-oh. I go boom.
Yeah, there are some new effects, some
Yeah, yeah.
spells, and well, what we could maybe do is first to 50%.
Bomb it. First to 50.
That's a good idea.
It's more
Oh, I
likely.
How do
accidental
we
kick.
or first to the G or something? Something where we can like
Measure it.
Mark
Measure it, yeah, 'cause I don't
'cause it's a little bit hard to see the middle there.
Ooh.
heating up.
Getting greedy. Let's go.
We should have done.
This is
We
such
should
a
have done
bad
fat
idea.
rolls.
Fat rolls,
Yeah,
yeah.
that would have made it a little more difficult.
Oh,
here we
Not
were
even close.
We were talking about how it's done, it's over.
Got a bit greedy there.
There you go. Cleared up a bit. Yeah, this fight the first time, until you kind of understand you need to be aware of where all the lava's going,
Yeah.
you can start running away and suddenly there's a lava pit behind you. It's really about awareness.
I think
Controlling
awareness
that.
is a big kind of aspect of the entire game.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one.
And
Yeah.
it's interesting, you know, like a lot of people got, for Dark Souls 3, for instance, a lot of people got turned off because of the first Gundyr battle, like right out of the very beginning.
Yeah.
Because it's like a lot of players had never played the game before, but I think that's like where a lot of that awareness and knowledge base comes in, like right at the beginning. You're like, oh, this is kind of, I kind of know this routine, I know like where I should be moving, but I know like a lot of players, they play Dark Souls 3 and then they're like, I can't get past this, I'm just gonna shelf this game. So, you know, maybe we'll have some players that'll go back, play Dark Souls 1 Remastered, and then they'll dust off their Dark Souls 3 and put it back in and see if they can make it through.
And if you ever need tips on how to avoid Quellag's attacks, just come back and watch this
Yeah.
this video here.
There you go.
Oh, guys, just to let you know, so for the shipping on the Yoram the Giant statue, we can only do US only. It's a really big statue, and don't want it to break, so we'll have to pick someone from the US. Apologies on that. But based on the time zone right now, I'm pretty sure most people that are watching this are in the US.
Yeah.
Can I say something about the remaster I'm really looking forward to?
Yeah, of course.
No.
No, don't do that.
The matchmaking dedicated servers, so it just makes you connected players like much faster. And obviously, that's all I do is invade people, so that's it's like a huge quality of life for me. And the biggest thing is that the covenants are going to be super active. So
Yeah.
the Dark Moonblade Covenant, like before, you could never ever get it to work,
forever.
and now it's going to be like it's going to be popping. Like the second the servers go up, I'm really excited for that.
Nice. Yeah, that's. And we were talking about that a bit earlier, but that is an awesome thing to see the reinvigoration of the community,
Yeah.
all the messages, the covenants, the PvP. I'm really excited to see what you guys are going to do. What kind of stuff you guys are going to put together with the matchmaking. Did you guys use the matchmaking on Dark Souls 3 PvP a lot?
Oh yeah.
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 It hurts to go back to not having it.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so we're stopping at the line by the G.
Yeah, we're
We
starting
are?
at the G.
Okay, we're almost there. Get greedy.
Yeah, I'm going for it.
Go for the
Going for
record.
the speedrun stretch.
Go for the
Ready?
record. There we go.
That's it right
That's
there.
it.
That's it.
What's
Okay.
the time?
Time. 7 minutes.
Yeah, I got a quick out to get the.
7 minutes 40.
All right.
7:40.
All right. Do you want to go next?
I think.
Sure. I'll probably lose.
Why don't we do it? Do you want to just do it 1v1? You versus Peeve?
Yeah.
I mean Peeve. I'm sorry. Lobos.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Freudian slip.
Let's go.
All right. So Lobos. So 7:40.
Aw.
7:40 is the time to beat.
Don't
Hold
start.
on, hold
Don't
on. Yeah,
start.
wrong. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but yeah, wrong
It
character.
does matter.
It
Lobos.
does.
It does.
The name is very important. All right.
Everyone's like, Peeve, where's Peeve? Where's Peeve? Peeve's here in spirit, man.
All
He
right,
said
you
he's
ready?
watching,
You ready?
cheering us on.
Let's see it. Let's see
He's
it.
watching. He's in the chat.
Yeah.
Peeve, show yourself.
All right, here we go.
Speedrun
Entering
strats.
now. Boom.
Good luck.
Here we go. Oh,
I'm gonna be
time's up.
super
Oral wins.
greedy. So
Yeah,
let's
you
see.
got to go for it now.
Yeah, I got to give it a good start. So. That damage. I shouldn't have that damage. It's just-
That damage, though.
She has so much damage resistance for like where she is in the game. It's just,
She's a rough boss.
yeah. It's one where you really need to start learning the attacks and play safe because your heals just won't last long enough to trade damage left and right. Speed strats.
Should I throw questions at Lobos to throw him off?
Do
Sure.
it.
Yeah,
Do
good
it.
idea.
Wind
Put
Up
out the
Skeleton
handicap.
says, why does Lobos hate Sigmire so much?
I don't hate him.
Problem, man. Well, you don't hate him. You just don't like him.
No, it's not that. I just look. I like to shake things up, all right, and everybody loves Ziegmeyer and Solaire, and so you know I just
So you just
kinda-
don't like him?
Yeah, I play devil's advocate by killing them every time I
Kill him every time.
How many hundreds of times do you think you've killed them?
countless. There's a lot of blood on my hands. Let's just say that.
What would you say, 10,000 hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
10,000 hours. That is nuts, man. You could have got a PhD. You got a PhD in Dark
I
Souls.
do have a
Yeah.
PhD in Dark Souls, right?
Honorary, at least.
All right.
Worth it.
Just based on the damage output, I gotta maybe put my money on Lobos here. Sorry, Oroboro.
Yeah, I know. He's doing work.
Well, you see,
He plays aggressive. See
if
me
you
do.
stand directly in front. The thing is,
The attacks don't hit you, huh?
when you're doing 2 hits per attack, when you're doing a fist-only run, you gotta find the ways to speed up
Yeah,
the damage.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it turns out that if you stand directly in front of her face, she doesn't hit you. So
That is
there's a tip.
hilarious.
There's a
Is that
tip.
the hardest run you've ever done? Is the fists only? I'm trying to throw them off, guys.
there's different difficulties, right? That's difficult because that requires endurance and doing a fight for however long and staying focused. But I would say probably one of my favorite difficult runs from Dark Souls in general is no heal, no bonfire, which means you don't level, you never heal, you can't touch any bonfires. If you ever die, you have to start back from Firelink, and you can't attune spells. So it's just making runs like all the way to Nito and not getting clipped by a skeleton or something
That's
like
crazy, man.
that. You have to take all
So you
this.
never use the Estus, or you only use the ones you have, and never
None
replenish. You
at
never
all.
use it.
None.
Remove it from your hotbar.
That's right. You take it off your bar and go, all right, well,
So you don't even use the first ones you get from the. Wow.
no. You
That's-
just don't even,
that's fair.
there's actually a glitch that you can skip picking them up. So I think I did that. Just so you don't even ever require the item.
That's insane. I had a question. How long did it take you to do the no weapon? What's the runtime on that for Dark Souls 1?
Well, that one's got some caveats to it. There's some tricks you can use to increase your damage. But I think we did it in one stream, like 4 hours or something like that.
Wow.
Oops. Yeah. It is fist only, but there's some finagling of trickery there.
Found some opportunities.
Yeah, some opportunities, let's say.
What's our time at?
The time is at 3 minutes 40.
You're gonna have to slow down, Lobos. All right?
Here, I'll swap to fifth. There.
Yeah, there you go. Make
Now
it a little fair, okay? I don't speed run yet.
Dan the Hellion says, "I love how every fight can be different." It's true, yeah. Depending on how you get, like the class you start with, the weapons you have at the beginning. Do you want to go two-handed? Do you want to go cleric? Do you want to go pyromancer? It is awesome.
Your tactics and everything alone can just change how a fight goes.
Yeah, you can actually shoot her with a bow to stun her.
Yep. You can permanently stun lock her by hitting her in the human torso up there.
Yeah.
Oh, we passed it. Never mind.
Oh,
I don't even pay
Oh.
attention.
Yeah, I think it's 4 minutes 26 seconds.
oh my God, that's fast.
So that was a
Finish her
little
off.
over 3 minutes. 3 minutes faster than you, Oroboro. Sorry, buddy. He just dies.
A+ for effort.
Yeah. Cool, guys. So I think we're going to wrap it up here. We're just about 1 hour. But before we do that, I guess some people are interested in the statue. I don't know. Should we just not give it away?
I'll take it home.
Yeah, we'll take it.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Will says he'll take it home. So, no, I'm just kidding. So, guys, just stay active in the chat, and we'll pick a winner for this. Let's get I'm going to just feel the power of the bonfire. My buddy Dimitri over there is working on it. He's rolling for somebody. Who is it? Who is it? Drum roll.
Lucky winner is...
Can't wait
The
to hear
winner
this name.
is Clay R. Girl.
Oh, that's not bad.
Clay R. Girl. You in here? You in the chat? Let's see. But anyway, while we're waiting for Clay R. Girl to respond, I just want to say thanks so much, guys, for coming.
Thank you for
No
having
problem.
us.
Yeah,
Anytime.
It was awesome.
These guys have been capturing footage of Dark Souls Remastered, so they'll be putting some new stuff up on their channels, and they also were taking some footage of Code Vein, the Code Vein demo that we have. So keep an eye out on their channels. Why don't you tell us about where they can find you guys?
You can find me on YouTube at Terramantis. And yeah, I got all kinds of guides that are old, but goodies
That's true.
on Dark Souls 1 and 2 and 3. But yeah.
Sweet. Oroboro?
I do mostly PvP, so if you want to know PvP, go to my channel on YouTube, Oroboro. Oroboro.
I do silly runs. Twitch.tv/LobosJR. Lobos Jr.
And why don't you come in here, Cowboy.
I make walkthroughs and lots of build videos, so just Google.
There you go.
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
just Google fighting. Oh,
Having
Cowboy.
All right, now get out of
Yeah,
here.
that stuff.
Awesome. Well, Clay R. Girl, they did respond, so they are the winner of the statue. Thank you to everyone that came into the chat. Old fans, new fans. Maybe you played Dark Souls back in the day. You put it down because it was too hard. But maybe it's time to pick it up again. Dark Souls Remastered is coming to Xbox and PS4 on May 25th. And we do have a Switch version coming. It's coming a little later. But stay tuned to our channels for updates on that, and we'll make sure that you guys know when you can play Dark Souls on the go. Yeah. I know these guys had a little chance to play that one too, so we're all excited to play Dark Souls in any form. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and stay tuned to the Bandai channels for more Dark Souls greatness.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.